Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and to our coffee times together. Today I bring you something new for me for my channel, but something that I've been wanting to do and incorporate into my videos. And this is a book or movie video.
It's coffee time!
What do I mean by this? So I am somebody that I have always watched so many movies, so many series, and I have always been a huge fan of film. And then I've also been reading a lot more in the last years, and I have realized, obviously, like everybody knows, that most movies are adaptations from books. And I always wanted to do videos comparing books and movies, but I always felt like maybe you guys would not be so interested in it, or maybe because they are older movies, maybe you're not so interested because they're not like current or anything. But I decided, what the heck, let's just give it a try, because I really love to compare books and movies. Mostly the books win, but we will wait to the end to decide which one is the winner. In this first video from this series, book versus movie, I am here to talk to you about a recent movie release called All the Bright Places. So All the Bright Places, it is a book that was the first YA novel by the author Jennifer Niven, and it came out in 2015. And we just got the Netflix adaptation featuring Elle Fanning and Justice Smith in the main roles of Violet and Finch, and it just came out in February of 2020. Needless to say, if you watch this video, you're going to get spoilers for both the book and the movie, because I'm going to be comparing them both, including spoilers. So just in case you don't want to be spoiled, this is your warning. Go read the book, go watch the movie, and come back when you're done so we can discuss this. In the book, we are following two different characters. We have Finch and we have Violet. They both have more in common than they think. He is just a regular Joe in high school and she is a popular girl, but they have both a lot of trauma in their past. So Finch has a lot of family trauma. His father used to beat him up, then abandoned him and his sister, and he has now a new family, and Finch is forced to go and have dinner with him sometimes. And Finch has a very dark space that he goes sometimes, and he kind of loses sense of reality, and he doesn't know what happens in that period of time where he kind of blacks out. And then we have Violet, that has survivor's remorse after she was in a car crash with her sister Eleanor. Her sister Eleanor passed away and she survived. So Violet is having a lot of trouble moving on, and she used to be the popular girl, cheerleader, this and that, and now she doesn't know how to live, basically. So I have put together a list of 5 things that are main important differences for me between the book and the movie, so let's check them out. In the book, basically Finch and Violet meet because they both have climbed the bell tower at high school, and they find each other up there. Violet kind of doesn't really know what she's doing there. It's like she is unconsciously suicidal. And then we have Finch that is there sitting, also considering suicide, and they meet there and they talking to each other. Finch manages to get Violet to reconsider and go down. However, in the movie, I did not really like how they approached this first meeting, because Violet is basically at the bridge where she had the accident with her sister, and she is considering jumping off the bridge. And Finch just happens to be on a morning run when he runs past her and stops to help her. Now, it is true that the book Finch does go on runs a lot to kind of clear his head. However, the fact that they did not both meet in this bell tower, both on the verge, it kind of loses a little bit the main essence of the connection that they developed in the book, because they found themselves sort of in the same situation, whilst in the movie most of the time it feels like the only one that is suicidal is Violet. The second point that I want to address is something related to this first point. So the Finch from the book is really obsessed with death and suicide, types of suicide rates, the statistics of, you know, how many people jump off a bridge, how many people hang themselves. And there is a lot of parts in the book where he is kind of showing us all of those statistics and research that he's going through. And I think this was a missed opportunity in the movie to kind of do a voiceover of this kind of statistics perhaps. And, you know, it is hard to bring up these numbers because it is people that have taken their own lives, so it's something serious. But I think it's so important for Finch and for his story that I was really surprised that they omitted any type of interest that he had in the topic. It kind of removes the whole purpose of Finch and then getting to the end of the movie. Number 3 is Finch getting into a fight. So in the book, Finch is with Violet in a kind of little river, and some of the popular friends from Violet that don't really hang out with her anymore come by, and they get into a kind of like a disagreement, and Finch nearly drowns one of Violet's friends. In the movie, I feel like they have taken this and made it super stereotypical and, you know, super cliche, because basically Flynn is with Violet in the hallway of high school, and he ends up going against Violet's ex-boyfriend. So it's kind of like this typical cliche, you know, hitting the ex-boyfriend or whatever. It is in a way kind of the same thing. This is not one of the major changes that I think it's a big deal, but I just thought that they just used it for a super stereotypical situation that was not really necessary. Number 4 is Finch from the book. There is many things that have changed about Finch if you haven't noticed yet by this time of the video. Basically, the Finch from the book is somebody that has not found himself yet. So he changes like haircut, he changes clothes, he changes the way he speaks, he changes kind of like, he calls himself different things like, I don't know, like hipster Finch, you know, all of these things. And I think it's because he's trying to show that he doesn't know who he is, he's not happy, he's trying to find happiness throughout all of these things, and none of it is really helping. And this is also so important again for the character to understand the decisions that he's gonna make farther on in the story, that I just think the Finch that they show us in the movie, it's like more bland. There's nothing much to the evolution of the character, which, you know, when you come to the end, it doesn't make sense that he made that decision of, you know, ending his life. And so I think that they have just missed completely the character arc for Finch. Number 5, so Finch and Violet get to hang out together because they are participating in a high school project together, in which they visit different interesting parts from the town and explore them, and they start to go into more and more faraway places, and they always leave something from them when they go there, and we get to see these in the movie as well. However, when the book is ending, the last chapter is basically Violet exploring the last places that they had to visit together by herself, alone, and seeing all of the things that Finch had left behind for her, all of the hidden messages from his last texts. And this is such a, you know, important moment for her. While in the movie, basically, they visited all these places mostly together, even the ones that she visited by herself at the end in the book, they make it in the movie like they visited together as well. And I think this doesn't give in the movie Violet the closure that she needs to move on, especially after the past that she had with Eleanor, her sister, passing away. Losing Finch as well was something really hard for her, and I think she needed this closure and visit all of these places that Finch had left for her to discover after he was gone. All in all, I felt like the movie was a decaf version of the book, in which they took away all of the, you know, huge big references to suicide, suicidal ways, and, you know, all of the statistics. They also did not show Finch, and in the book, basically, Violet discovers his body floating in the lake where they went together before. And you know, I can understand that maybe in the movie they don't want to make it so morbid or so graphic, but I think, you know, with these topics we should not sugarcoat things. We should just show the ugliness of the truth of these situations, because I think that was also most of the, you know, a message that the book wanted to bring across, like how ugly and how messy it is, but how some characters end up coping, and you know, how Violet finds closure. I just thought that, you know, a show that came out not long ago, a couple years ago, 13 Reasons Why, they did approach really heavy topics with some graphic moments in the show, but I think they were so needed to make the impact, to, you know, put the audience in that uncomfortable position to show how ugly it is. I think that All the Bright Places tried to make this movie too much PG-13, and they kind of forgot the purpose of the movie, which is to show the impact and how graphic, how ugly, how messy it is when somebody decides to take their own life. The verdict is I gave the book 4 coffee mugs and I gave the movie only 3 coffee mugs. So let me know down below, have you guys watched the movie already and did you enjoy it? I hope that you enjoy this new type of videos. If you have any recommendation of a book and movie adaptation that you would like me to check out and review and compare, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to follow me in other social media, all the comments as always are in the description box. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!